Hey there, friends, and anybody who ends up watching this. My name is Mike Ball. I'm like many other people in tech specifically who has gone through a layoff recently. I've been going through the job hunting process and kind of generally getting frustrated with it, even down to the software experience of browsing and being overwhelmed with a lot of options and kind of all the details of reading through and processing all the information, then shifting your mindset for each thing. So a former colleague of mine had recommended or mentioned that they were using this newer platform called Otta, which you can see on the screen now. And I was blown away with onboarding here. The first thing I ask is, what's important to you? And they limit, choose 3 things that are most important to you. And they base the recommendations on that. So I'm going to open this up a little bit more so you can see. And I just wanted to go through some of the experiences that I felt like were significantly better than other platforms. And so far, it even has more listings than, say, something like LinkedIn, which is interesting to me because I've looked at other sites that didn't have quite as many, maybe had a few that I couldn't find on LinkedIn, but most of the time, they were lacking some of them. But in this case, I've been able to find many, and it helped really cut through the noise. I just think the experience is better, not counting the interview process and all that, which they can't control, but it looks like they're even doing some things to apply directly through this platform. They're giving you a way to import your profile from LinkedIn and let employers just look at your platform here, export it as a PDF. So yeah, I'm going to go through some of this just because I wanted to share it and showcase and let other people find it and kind of know what to expect. I'm not going to go through onboarding. There's some basic questions about what's important to you, what kind of companies you want to work for. And the whole idea is basically they're going to do some work on the back end to bring you jobs that you're likely going to be interested in. So you can see I have some saved down here, and there's some filters automatically applied, like they were posted recently. They're not inactive. So this first little strip, and the mobile experience is just as cool, probably even better in some ways. So they give you these little tiles for different types of jobs you want to see, like some that list salaries, some with female leaders, tech that's interested in social good, and then direct matches based on the information you gave them. So when you open this up, instead of having a long list of all the options and having to scroll through all the details, they do a few things really well. And on mobile, this again looks really nice. So they give you the title, they give you a really brief summary of what the company does. So this is great because even if you go through LinkedIn, a lot of the job descriptions don't list what the company does. You have to go to the company page and try to figure it out. And even if they're a well-known company, sometimes the parent company name isn't recognizable and it's for a branch within the company that you wouldn't have expected. So you can't really assume you know exactly what it is in the front end. So they give you who they're looking for right away. They give you more information about the company. They pull in all these different reviews and recommendations, stats about the company's growth, and then it give you expectations about when you're going to hear back, which for me is one of the biggest pain points of applying, because sometimes you hear back within days and sometimes you don't hear back for weeks, and you're not sure whether or not you're totally ruled out and they're just tossing you to the side, or if you're a candidate that's in the pipeline that they're working through. They have employee endorsements on here, and then they have this from the company, from Otta itself, where they write a description about the company and what they know about it and kind of their own summary. So this comes kind of from the company details, but also it's a different perspective on it. Like it's somebody's positive review of what the company is. And I wouldn't take it, word for word and assume that that's the final truth, but it's nice to have a different kind of perspective that's coming from a third party instead of the company itself, because whether you're an applicant or whether you're a company trying to hire, everybody's trying to make themselves look as good as possible. And it's good to have a third party honest take kind of to accompany all the details. So for me, this is much less cluttered, much less digging, much less decoding, and it's a lot easier to sort through. Now the best part, or maybe one of the best parts, if I didn't already say best part, is just sliding through these. So if I want to save this, I can save it, right? That'll go back to that home page where I showed you my saved jobs. It'll give me links to apply, or I can click here to apply right now to their site. You can just slide through these one at a time. You get a very focused view of the different job opportunities that are there. And yeah, it's just a lot less overwhelming and requires a lot less mental bandwidth. So you can really decide, is this a good fit for me? Do I like the company? Do I like the role? Do other people like it there, right? Are they growing really fast? Are they growing really slow? So you get this red warning. Not very many people hear back within 2 weeks. So you might maybe submit an application, but kind of put it on the back burner in terms of your mental energy and bandwidth or emotional investment until you actually hear back, and have to wait a while for that. So yeah, this is kind of the sorting. You swipe through, you swipe back, you save it if you want to, or if you're sold on it right now and you're ready to apply, you go to apply. And in terms of writing your cover letter and tweaking your resume for each one, this information presented this way is much easier to address than when you parse through a description. And I don't know if everybody else sees this, but a lot of companies are tossing in very dense buzzwords and specifics that don't actually mean anything in practice. So parsing it out, looking at what they want point by point, like individually written points that are more clear and easier to digest, is much easier to respond to, like your experience and how it'll fit. So yeah, I've just started using this the other day. The inbox, I assume, is for when you start applying through Otta, which they're working on. Again, you can go to apply with Otta or via Otta. And these are companies that'll accept applications in the form of your profile. The profile did bug out a little bit when I was importing the info from LinkedIn. So it got my titles fine, and then it was spinning out on getting the actual content out of the export from LinkedIn. So I'll play with that a little bit more and see how far I can get today. But I just looked at this yesterday, and overall the experience is much better than any of the other job hunting platforms that I've used over the years, and especially now when I'm doing it, and it's really relevant. So kudos to the Otta team, and for anybody else out there who's hunting right now, check this out. It's definitely worth your time.